Hello and welcome to another episode of the Extreme Demo Room stream live. And today I want to show you guys again another topic about St. Patrick's Day. Wow, my words don't come easy today, sorry for that. As I said yesterday, we made some cookies today, so I will show you the result of yesterday's project and the project from the time before. And I'm gonna put it all together, and then we're gonna continue with some nice shot glasses this time, because well, many people see St. Patrick's Day as a day where there's a lot of talk about luck and about drinking and a lot of fun. So I wanted to tap into the other side, which is like funny shot glasses, St. Patrick's Day styled, and we're gonna make an extra add-on on that, where we're gonna create some nice coasters, and those coasters are then gonna have a little assignment below it. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So to start with, I'm gonna show you what I made yesterday. It is now fully glued. So you can see it became a nice little fella. And we made the extra foot. So that one we are gonna place like so. I made this part slightly more narrow. This is 4mm thick wood. So I made it 3.8 because of the edges. It will take those off. So otherwise it will be too wide. And I can just slide it in there and it will stand. So it is still slightly wide. So I could maybe even go slightly more narrow. Now the next part that we did yesterday is this one. This is an acacia wood tray, and we made a very nice engraving with a nice text on it. So that is going to act as my serving tray. So we eventually will have the tray. I'm going to show it like so. And then we're going to place the leprechaun on it. There you can see how it looks. And then we are gonna make the cookies, or not gonna make them because they are already made. And we're gonna toss them in. And let's put my shot glasses I had prepared for the side. And here are the cookies, and I'm just gonna chop them right in. I made plenty of them. There we go. And now you will see a nice filled plate. Let me place it all around. So, and here is then the result. If you give a nice party for St. Patrick's, there we go. The nice leprechaun in the middle of all his gold. So that is part one. Okay. Now let's continue with the shot glasses. I have these very lovely little shot glasses, as you can see. And I want to make a little leprechaun on it. So sometimes when you have like friends over and they all have their own personality, and people among friends, you joke with one another. The one is the grumpy one, the other one is the clumsy one, etc, etc. So among friends, that's always a lot of fun. And I thought maybe it's nice to, for this St. Patrick Day themed shot glasses, it's nice to make like little leprechauns that kind of align with that, so people can choose their own shot glass or get them assigned by their friends as to how they see them. And I think that is just a funny social thingy. So for that I created a leprechaun, and I tried to make him in all different personalities or states of mind, how someone can be. So I'm gonna clean the glasses meanwhile, because that needs to be done. So we make sure that there is no mess and no fingerprints on it or other residues. So everything is nice and tidy. There we go. I think this one is very nice. So now it's important because I'm gonna engrave them in the RA2 rotary holder attachment. So let's go to the xTool Studio. And this is for later, so I'm just going to make a new one by pressing on the plus. And I'm going to go with glass. Let me see, this one is the one I just cleaned. And now I need to measure it. Where did I? Because I need to know how wide it is approximately, because as you can see, they are not straight. So this part is going to be slightly wider than this. So I always tend to go like in the middle for a short engraving. That might just do the trick. If you have a UV laser, I heard that doesn't do the trick. So they need to be very accurate. But with the diode laser, you can often get away with it with a little bit of fluctuation in that. So we're gonna go with this, and it is 4.8 centimeter. So we're gonna choose here. We're gonna use the chuck, the rotary attachment, and we said 48 in diameter. So now we're gonna get first gonna mark it. Oops. With a chalk marker. I did that the last time too. The reason I do that is because the chalk markers, they dry really fast. You can get an even prettier, hello straw, nice that you're there. You can get a more pretty result when you use different types of paint or other mediums. But for the sake of the stream, to not make it too lengthy, I choose to work with the liquid chalk markers. I can show you here. This is my package of liquid chalk markers. They actually come in a lot of colors, so it's very nice if I have like my nieces around or anything like that will happen. Then I have a lot of colors, and most of them I actually won't even use, aside of it being nice for the kids because they can color on the windows and you can just wipe it off. Oh, my machine just went to sleep, as you can see. So the thing is, the best is to work with is the darkest color. So it's for me, I sadly didn't have a black. They didn't have it in store at the moment when I bought it. So I actually always go with the purple, and otherwise I go with the red because these are the darkest colors that I have. So purple it is. Close this up. Now, what I want to know is, well, this is of course a very tiny shot glass. It's like, yeah, one shot. So let's go. I take my measurement tape and I'm gonna see. I think my leprechaun can't be more than 3 centimeters high. Now the width doesn't really matter in this because it is round. So, but the height may be 3. I think that is really the maximum. So I don't go too low under the edge and not too high on the top. So we keep it at 3 or 30 millimeter, so to say. I'm gonna make a little box for that. This is going to be my little help box. And I'm going to say the height has to be 30. Now the width doesn't really matter, so we can unlock it and we can say, well, the width, if we would go for a full wrap, which we are not, but then you can just measure it around. And that would be 15.5 on the widest point. That's also important to take into consideration when you have a glass that forms into a cone. Then you have a wide part and you have a narrow part, and that matters actually quite a bit, because here it is only 14.5. So 15.5. So this is like 1 centimeter of extra space that you have by engraving on the wide part than on the narrow part. Does that matter as well for the engraving that you do? Yes, it does. It will deform slightly. So important to take that into consideration. So if you make something that really has to be straight, like a square logo or something, it will be skewed. Okay, now we have to decide which leprechauns we want to do. I find that very difficult because there's a lot of choice. Let me see which ones were really funny. I think shall we start with a savage one? Is that funny? Or a hungry one? The grumpy one? Very difficult. I actually find this one very funny. This is when I decide to go fight the dragon, and this is me also when I see the dragon. Let's I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna go with the grumpy one. Yeah, let's go with the grumpy one. So I'm just gonna copy it. Oops, and I'm gonna take it there. Now this one can be turned off. And I'm gonna do that here, output, and then you turn it off. So this one is just only there for moral support. Now I'm gonna copy an V. So this one I can turn off. I want to have this just there. It's not gonna do anything. Wait, if I turn it off, that is. Now this one is the only one on, and I'm gonna say edit, and I'm gonna say cutout, and it is on manual, and I'm just gonna use my big eraser. I'm gonna make this rather big. I'm just gonna take everything away that is not the grumpy man. Oops. So then I will take this, and I'll just click that on the white spot, so all the white around it kind of goes. It will not engrave the white anyways, but just in case there's any decoloration, like a slight yellow, I don't want it to go and do everything. I'm not gonna make a vector off of this because I think it's just gonna be fine. It's very tiny. I will increase the sharpness a little bit because you can see it is slightly blurry, and especially since it's going to be that tiny, I want it as sharp as possible. Here you can see now it is already a lot sharper. So we go on the X, and I also want to crop the image because now it thinks that it's all this big, which is fine. Nothing will happen with it engraving wise, but when I want to select any other elements on my canvas, it keeps thinking that I'm actually clicking this, which I don't, and I just can't see it, that is still belonging with it. So there we go. Now I lost him. Where did you go? There he is. Now you see he's a little bit big for my tiny shot glass, because it's the belly is not bigger than this. So we're gonna make him, whoops, a lot tinier. Now I wonder, should we actually even keep the rain cloud, or shall we just do only him? I think we're just gonna do only him. Otherwise, the reason for this is that otherwise he's gonna be even tinier compared to all the others that I'm gonna make. So I'm just taking this away, confirm, gonna crop it again. So we are nice and consistent. There. Now you can see I can also make it already slightly bigger again. Oops. I really want to push it to the edges because I already made it very tiny. So here is the first shot glass. I'm considering if I want to put something on the back as well, but let's first just go with this. I can still later on decide to engrave something on the exact other end. So we're gonna use the chalk marker. There, and then we're just gonna color it. Not sure if that's how well that's gonna be seen. So need to make sure, and you have to work a little bit fast because it dries so fast. There you go. It's a little bit difficult because it is so rounded. I think this is just gonna be fine. Let me quickly measure if I did it right, that I didn't do it too short. Yeah, that fits perfectly fine on it. Now we're gonna let this dry for a second. And I'm gonna go to the machine and we're gonna install the rotary attachment. You will see that in the bottom right of my screen. So I'm now at the machine. I'm gonna take the honeycomb out. There's still a little bit of soot in the bottom, so I'm just gonna clear that out. So I keep my working area nice and tidy. Now that's all nice and clean. Then we're gonna place the rotary attachment inside of it. So. And I'm gonna plug it in to the bottom right of the machine. On the inside there is a slot where you can put in the cable. And grab the I think we're gonna go with the small one. Like I said the last time, here I found my little device. See, the tiny one even fits this one. So we're gonna have to a lot smaller. It is still too small. Let's see if we can. Is this one also too small? No, this one can. Is it really too small? Okay, okay. Okay, now this doesn't go anywhere because this is rather straight. Now I do see I have made a little breaking in that. But I think, can I go aside of it with the head? I'm not gonna gamble it, so let's just take this away and I'll just reapply it because it's very fast to do. So let's take this off. Yeah. And we're gonna reapply paint. That's the downside of using the chalk, is that it very easily gets chucked off. So, and you don't want that. Oh. No, we won't need to use this because it is very tight in here. What I will use is this little thing, so I can line up this one, so it is definitely 100% straight. I will already push this one, and I do it not where it is on the highest and not where it is on the lowest. So I will have the perfect middle ground for the focus point. So while that is drying, I'm already gonna use to measure the distance. So you will see it is dropping the needle, gently touches it there. Now it will reset. So now I should have, there it is, there's the big line. It is important to know that I'm gonna have to turn it in the way that I also see the opening. So the opening for me is on the left, so I have to make sure that his head is towards the opening, otherwise he will be upside down, which is fine if you do bottoms up, but that's only so short. Now I'm gonna measure where I want his head to start. You can barely hear me. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. Can I maybe make it a little bit better? I had some troubles today with my microphone. So let's see if this is any better. Okay. I'm going to go to the machine and I'm going to place the red crosshair exactly where I want to have the head starting. So I want to have the head start approximately here. I think that is going to be nice. So we're going to move away my leprechaun and we're going to place him just there. And now we are going to select how much it needs to do. So only for this one. We're going to engrave it. And I need to double check the settings that I had for my other glass. Hello, Spuddy. Ah, okay, yes, I see. Yeah, I normally have like very nice tiny little microphones, and I did something and they are not working. So that that will need some research. Okay, let's see. 50 in power and 30 by speed. So that's what we're gonna go for. 50 in power, and we're gonna go with 30 in speed. We only need to do one pass, and we're gonna see, did I do everything correct? The height we have, or the diameter, the height. Well, material we don't need to do because, well, it is glass, but that will only tell me the same settings. Well, it will definitely give other settings. These settings should be fine. It's not too thin glass, so I think it will be fine, and otherwise we need to have a spare glass. So let's just try and see. It will take 2.5 minutes. I'm just gonna press start and I'm gonna press the button on the side of the machine. So while that is going, I'm gonna go and find another one that I want to make. So let me see. We have the other that we hit. Here it is. Which one are we gonna make? So we have a grumpy one. What kind of friends do you guys have? Anyone in particular that reminds you here? We have a savage one. I think that one is really funny. We have a hungry one. A very clumsy one. We have a very sophisticated one. Let's go with the hungry one. Everybody has this friend that can always eat. So I'm just gonna copy and V it because I want to keep one in spare because I'm gonna make more of them. So that one we're gonna hide, and we're gonna go with this one. Edit, cut out, and then we're gonna go again with the big eraser, and we're just gonna take everything else away. There we go. Time flies by. It's already done. So. And we take everything away, and then I'm gonna use the magic wand and remove all the leftovers. Then I will crop the image to so. Nice and tight. There we go. And for him, the same rule applies. We're gonna make him 30 in height. Does it need to be more? This way they're all gonna have the same height. So you will see he's just as tall as his friend there. I'm gonna check now at the machine. I'm gonna take it out and see what the result is. Dun, dun, dun. A little bit bright. I'm gonna take off the chalk. I'm gonna dry it. Oh, you can see that. I'm gonna show it to you as well on the other camera. So I think that became kind of cute. Let me see, where did I put my black cardstock? Of course it is gone. Do I have anything else? Gray is not gonna work. My sleeve. We find a way. Okay. There. So that's a nice little shot glass with the grumpy friend among the friends group. Now let's go with the next one. So we're gonna turn this one off, and this one is gonna get the same settings. So 50 by 30. Let's say it right. Yes. And we're gonna place him there. And we're gonna have to do exactly the same, except for the other measurements are already done. So we're gonna clean it. Even when you have glasses that have been standing, just clean them up front, because you might just have touched them with your fingers and it can affect the result of your engraving. So a tiny bit of isopropanol is always a good starting point, just to clear out any of the soot or any of the fatty fingers, like when I have been sneakily eating some cookies that we made for today. So, and of course I left my marker there. Let's look at it. And we're gonna mark it again. I don't think I need to do it all too wide, because the other one was way wider and it doesn't really, I didn't need so much. On there. And we're gonna stick it back into the machine. So, this on middle point. Start it from there. So, I think I need to turn it a tiny touch. There, that's the middle. Okay. Now we're gonna turn this one on. There we see that it's only the one, the eating leprechaun, that is the one that is going to be engraved. The other one is being ignored, and well, you can see what he feels about that. So let's go with process. And let's play. There we go. Oh, no. Wait a second. I want to go too fast. Cancel, confirm. Finished. What I did not do, what I always like to do, is to sharpen it, because otherwise it's too blurry to my taste. So we're gonna crank up the sharpness. There we go. Actually very curious if I use any of the filters. Will it become any better? Not really, right? Original. We're gonna stay with original. I think that is just fine. So now we click process. And now we start. Really. If I press start. Some wood for the coasters that I want to make. Now we're gonna have to do the next one. I have 6 of them. So we're gonna zoom out. We're gonna show a hidden image. Where is it? There. Now it can hide again. And that's... Was there more funny ones in the other one? Let me see. I think I've seen... Yeah, I think this one is also very nice. Let's go with this. I'm always very picky when it comes to these things. So this one we're gonna hide. Place it aside. And I'm gonna paste a fresh one on there. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Turn it off. So that's my spare. And here's the one I'm actually gonna work with. I want to do the flirty one. I think the flirty one is kind of cute. So we say edit, cut out. I'm gonna go with the eraser. Oops. Careful that we don't cut off his feet. And I'm just gonna take all the others away. It's just a fast way to just pick a match. There would be other ways. If I would make everything into a vector, then I could make everything into a vector and then I can take the vector apart. But that's not what I'm going to do now. Let's crop it. And move there. And there. Gonna make it sharp. Oops. And we're gonna put it, oh, wait a second. First we're gonna say it has to be a max of 30 millimeters high. Putting them sideways. Gonna go with 50, 30. I see it falls with the same one as this, so I did remember it correct. And this one is gonna go next to his brother. I'm gonna place him right there. And let's go and see the result of the other one. Quite lucky there. So let's take this off. See how easy that goes. But when you use acrylic or anything, it is a lot more difficult to do so. Wipe it here. Taking the last bits off. So there's the hungry one. I think also pretty nice. Can be together with the other one. So create a whole team. I'm gonna have 6. I'm not sure if I want to make them all just for today. I might finish it off cam because I see that we're already 45 minutes in. But let's make at least the third, and then maybe we go over to making some of the coasters. So for this, we're gonna continue. Just grab a new spot. So I don't have any of the other suit on it. So, and let's clean it again. So yeah, it's a little bit repetitive, but well, it's a nice system, and it's not all that long work. It's not that bad. As you can see, it's like only 2.5 minutes for each that the machine is at work. I think most of the time always kind of goes into preparing and making everything fit and calculating. Of course, you can always better measure twice and cut once than the other way around, right? So that's there. Where is now there? I never lose anything. It's not true. So makes a very amazing sound. I'm pretty sure that my microphone will cancel that out for you guys. I wish it would do the same for me. Made this a little bit wider because the other one I just got lucky that it was exactly on. I don't want to test fate. Okay, and we're gonna place it in the machine. So. Perfect. And did you know I did not put any music on today? I wish I was slightly less forgetful. Anyway, 50, 30. This is the only one that's on. I always have to kind of go by the list for myself, otherwise I might end up doing it wrong. So I think it's a healthy way of just double checking your settings so you don't have any mistakes going. So I see that he is. Can I adjust, because I think I have too much space on the feet, and that is all calculated within that. So there. Otherwise he will be shorter than his brothers. Then he's gonna get bullied. Let me check that I have the painted part exactly in the middle. So. And we can process. And we can say start. Now there it goes. Okay. So the foot of this shot glass is approximately 5. So I think it's nice to have it maybe 7 wide, the coasters. Sorry, I'm talking about the coasters. And I have here a piece, it's 14 to 21. Oh, perfect. Okay, so my piece of walnut plywood, it's exactly 21 and a bit. So if I would make the coasters 7 in diameter, 7 centimeters, I can fit 3 of them in that. And I can fit 4 of them in the width, so that's actually perfect. So there's not going to be a lot of waste. I'm going to minimize this, and I'm just going to do this in the same file. Will I? No, I'm just going to go with a new file actually. It's a little bit easier. So I'm going to go with applications, and I want to make a grid array. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to, no, not that element. I'm just going to go with a circle, and I'm going to keep shift pressed. If I don't have shift pressed, I can move it to an oval and like and everything. If I keep shift pressed, it will always be a perfect circle. So I'm just going to do that, and I nearly nailed it. So I'm going to press 70 here because I want it to be 70 millimeters. Now I want to make this into a grid. So I'm going to select this, and then you have a nice application here that says grid array, which is lovely. I want to have 4 in the X and 3 in the Y rows. So that should approximately, well, there is already 1 heart out, so I will have 1 less, but this is how I would like to have it. And you see that there is actually a very nice dividing here. I could optionally say maybe I can, if I say ungroup, let's see if there is a better way. I played around with that the other time. Nesting, and what did I say? How far and wide was it? 21 in height to 10, and it was the width of 30. Start nesting. Okay, so this one, it says this one cannot be nested, and it's going to be placed outside of the area. So this would actually be the better way. So there will still be an area left, but this would still be a usable piece of wood, and this here will also still be a usable piece of wood, because there's going to be a lot less of wood in between, and that is going to be like that. So all fair, I wanted to show this. This one is just slightly falling outside of the range. It doesn't fit. I'm just gonna Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, and here you see this is the other option. Did it just make more? No, right? Edit, redo, 4, 8. No, it should be the same. Funny how that works, right? So yeah, that's the big difference. Is you will see that you have some other wood that you have left over, but you can still use that for other things. Whereas if I do it like so, the whole wood will be used, but I will have here a piece, here a piece. All these pieces will be scrap wood. Now I will find a use for it, so don't worry about that. But yeah, it is sometimes just a waste. You can see how I did it here with the heart as well. I made sure that it was exactly in the side in the end, so I would only have a very tiny piece away from it. Now, if I would take this one away, I'm pretty sure that is exactly where the heart is. Let's take out the glass first. Taking off the chalk. My little cloth is satisfied with chalk now. Okay. We're gonna put again. I still have any part that is not really. Yeah, child's lock. Always struggle with it, don't know why. Here we go. Taking all those fatty fingers. I didn't even steal one of the cookies yet during the stream, that is. So there's no fatty fingers from me on the glass. Just defending myself already in case anyone gonna say something. Should have put a camera on it, right? So I can I have an alibi. Okay, I'm gonna show this one as well with my cool sleeve trick. Let's find the camera. There we go. Pretty cute. So that's friend number 3, the flirty friend. I think that's pretty nice. I will continue those off stream because otherwise it's going to be too lengthy and we can't make any of these cool coasters. So for this I had in mind some funny tasks. Let me, oops. We have me and my friends and family. We came up with some nice tasks that we can do or that people can do. One of them was given in by my mother, and she came up with write your name backwards. So imagine that you are doing this water drinking game and you're already getting tipsy from water. Then writing your name backwards might be fun if your name is, for example, Tom, but when your name is Elizabeth, might be a little bit tricky. So I think that is actually funny to do. It's very innocent. So I'm just gonna copy that and then I'm gonna make a text. Just click and click and Ctrl V. I'm gonna put that on engrave. I'm just gonna zoom in for the people that do not see it as well. For example, myself. And I'm gonna say I want to have it aligned to the middle is actually fine because it's round. I want to have a simple but nice one that fits with the style, but it's still well to read, because if there's going to be a little bit much on it, it still needs to be very readable. It's going to be too thin. I also don't want too thin, because it's going to be very difficult to see then. Andika? I think Andika might be very nice. So how I set it up is the task, write your name backwards, how much time or how many times. I can maybe change that into times, one time. Maybe I just remove the word task so it becomes a little bit smaller. And then do this. Let me see if we can fit that nicely on it. Kind of want to make it so that everything can fit approximately in the same way. So maybe not do this one. Design choices, right? So if we go with 15. Let's see if we make some others, if that is the right thing. So we're gonna just pick a few. End every sentence with lad. I think that's very funny for this topic. So we're just gonna copy and V. And I'm gonna redo the copying of this. Control C. And Control V. And here I'm gonna have to adjust this as well. S. So fits for this. So I'm trying to find a universal one that kind of makes everything fit, because if this one is very short in text, but the other one is really lengthy, I don't want this to have big letters and the other one very tiny scribbles. So I try to find a bit of the middle ground, but preferably as big as possible for people that find it hard to read, especially when they have drinking some water. Oh, this is also fun. Narrate everyone's actions dramatically. I think that is going to be super funny to do. The reason why I copy this is because all the settings are already the right settings for this one. Yep. So I Control C, go back to here, go. Control V. I'm just going to make an enter here. And you see here it already becomes tight, so I need to make a good choice where I do that. And times. So that's for 2 rounds. So imagine that you're like with 5 people doing this game, and you're gonna have for 2 rounds to narrate anything everybody does. I think that is gonna be great fun. I'm just picking some random ones. Only say yes or no. And if you fail, you have to take a new drink and a new assignment. So the idea is that when people are playing like this drinking game, you have like the coaster and your shot glass on it. So the round is prepared for everyone, the shots are filled, and the coasters are just placed. And I want to make many of those coasters. So you have like same like having an expansion pack with a deck of cards, and you can just add to it, and then you just place new coasters and shuffle them, so nobody knows what they're gonna have. So when you have taken your shot, you can then check your coaster, and then you're gonna have to do what the coaster says, which can lead to hilarious situations, I think. So we're gonna copy, Control V. I'm gonna place it here. I'm gonna go here again, Control C, Control V. I'm gonna make this one open. I should have thought about that earlier. I'm gonna put this in yes, or just for aesthetics. Still fits very nicely, so I think that 15 was the right setting. I think also this font is very fitting for this goal. Oh, this must be very much fun to do. Choose someone that will feed you your drinks for 3 rounds. Now you better have good friends. Otherwise that's gonna get messy. Is it right to say that will feed you your drinks? I don't know if I said that right. I might have, because you drink your drinks, you don't eat it, but is it still feeding then? I think people will understand what I mean. And otherwise, you guys can tell me afterwards and then I will make it better. Let me see. that is rude. You're only allowed to take a sip instead of a shot for 3 rounds. I think it's nice to give a compliment before drinking. Oh. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Oh. So we're gonna remove the task here again. Oh, my machine fell asleep. So boring. Time. Next to France. I'm gonna up it. Give everyone a compliment before drinking. So everybody gets a share of it, right? Of the niceness. I see, it's in the middle, there. What did I already have? Oh, maybe the pirate one. I think I have somewhere a pirate. Or it is. Give someone a nickname and use it constantly for the rest of the evening. I hope that you guys have nice friends that you guys have very funny names for, and you may say it the whole evening then. Oopsie. Give someone a new nickname. Does that fit? No, it doesn't. A new nickname. I think I need to break my standard here. But it will still fit, so I don't need to really change it. It will just have a little bit more space. So that's not very much out of line, that's fine. So idealistically, I would actually like have like a line between it. But I also very much like to overcomplicate things. Talk like a pirate for 3 rounds. I'm just gonna do something that I should have done a while ago. Possibly you guys will tell me the same. Why didn't you? Well, because I was not smart until I thought about it. So, talk like a pirate for 3 rounds. Choose someone that has to copy your tasks. Choose someone. That person has to copy your task. Times 3 rounds. I'm gonna have to line it up. Oops. Almost there. Applause every time someone took a shot. For 3 rounds. That's gonna be very annoying sitting there. Sorry, I really can see the joy of these little silly games. Life's already too serious. There is no middle. Where's the middle? It doesn't want to middle me. Okay, there it is. And the last but not least, okay, this one is also funny. Start a toast before drinking. Gonna make it very nice and official. Next 2 rounds. Next 3 rounds. So I'm thinking about to make it clear when something needs to happen, because some things happen for the next drinks, right? So you need to say next 3 rounds. I think I'm gonna up this one. Next 3 rounds. I'm gonna make it a little bit more difficult. Otherwise someone is just gonna be silent, right? This is an evil one for the entire evening. Write your name backwards. I have to do it 1 time. This is also rest of the evening. Times. Yeah, I think I have everything. Okay, now let's go back to the laser. I'm gonna wake it up because it got tired of me talking. And I'm gonna put my honeycomb back in. I will take out the rotary attachment, so we can make these coasters. I'm gonna place my wood in there. I'm gonna try to make everything here just so that it is tight. Because I don't want it to move anymore. I'm just going to take off the corners because they're circles. They're not going to use the corner anyway. There. So what I will do now is I'm gonna base plate. The material is gonna be walnut. Oh, well, walnut. Plywood. Is it 3mm? I think it's 3mm, yeah. There. And now we're gonna place the needle above it because we need to measure how the distance is. You can't see anything, huh? There. Now you see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. And we're gonna say outer measure. Now you will see it will drop the needle. Also, I have not said it yet this evening because I'm everywhere. If you guys would like to have also a nice machine and you consider to buy one from xTool, I advise you to go to the official xTool website and use the code right there on the other side of my screen, Nicole20, and you will get a £20 extra off on top of the offer that they already have. So it's stackable. So that's always nice, £20 extra. So I would definitely, if you consider it, this is a nice opportunity. So let's go further with the machine. It already gave me some nice settings. Let me see if this is what I like. Yeah, that actually looks pretty nice. It's pretty speedy. Might even go one deeper. This one is very clean, but I'm gonna go with that one. This is gonna have to be cut. Do I do that now? Yes, I will do that now. So 100, and I'm gonna go with 8. That should be fine. This one needs to be lined up. Start a toast before drinking. I'm gonna line it up differently because it was really touching the edges nearly. This. There. Do I have everything? So what I will do, the reason why I pinned down the plate is I'm gonna turn every part around. So I can engrave the other side. Well, I just have to turn this one around. Just double checking that everything is nicely lined up. Yeah. Now I'm gonna mark my processing area, and I'm gonna use the polygon as we did it the other day, because then I can mark exactly out where also that cutout of the heart is, so I will not interfere with that. So I'm gonna move my laser module around, and I'm gonna first go these parts. I will even take the little holders into consideration. There, and we close it with that. I'm gonna end the marking, and now we will see, oops, we can take all of this and place it above there, and you will see this should perfectly fine fit. This is exactly on there. I think these I all want to have a few millimeters up. I know it's made a few millimeters, but I actually want to have them down. Sorry. So this one has a tiny bit more space to the edge, and I don't think that they will interfere with that. Oops. So I'm trying to make sure that they are not gonna touch the edges, otherwise I will have a little bit of a flat coaster at one point. Is this enough? Yeah. So let's say process. Let's see how long this takes. Usually text is not that long, 15 minutes. It's still a decent amount of time. Let's go. Oh, I'm zoomed in. There we go. And meanwhile, on the other way, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna this. Not sure if I will have them all. Turn them all off. And we're gonna take my hair. So this is one that we made before. And this is gonna be the top of the coasters. So this is very simple to do. You just Control C, Control V, or once Control C and the rest only Control V then. Then you can just line it up. So what I will do, and I will probably do that off camera because otherwise everything's gonna run out of time, is I'm gonna be turning everything around, and then I will start engraving these, but I will not touch the base plate, so the where it is now going to be cut out of. The surrounding I'm going to leave in there. So I will only take out the middle parts, because that way I know that it is perfectly lined up, so I will not get any of my shamrocks that are like out of the middle or anything. I will zoom in a little bit so you guys can see how nice the machine does that. So I chose to first do the middle area, and then it's gonna do the rest. I'm gonna try to show. I think I'm gonna make it another run because I think it can be a little bit darker. So maybe a second pass would be actually be nice. I will show you how it is done here. See that it is slightly light. But if you go to the side, you see that because of the light, you can see it very well because the light is kind of shining over it. But if you look on the top, it doesn't really have a dark burning mark. So what I will do is I will just say, okay, I'm pause it again. So that will take another 15 minutes. That's just part of the game. After that, I will also engrave the shamrocks. I think I will give it automatically already a bit more power and slightly slower speed possibly, just so it is getting a little bit darker in one go. All of that I will do for the next stream. I do not know because next week I'm gonna have a very busy week, so I won't be there most likely. My colleague Wayne will be there. He's gonna do some nice work for his wedding, because he's creating a lot of awesome things for his wedding. I would definitely advise to go look to see his stream. It's a lot of fun and a lot of information. He has a very good way of passing on information. So definitely worth to go check that out. For now, I'm gonna go, and thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.